And we're off. So I'm trying out a new POV. I just realized I could flip the actual mount that you just like slide into the adhesive that's stuck to the camera for the GoPro. I realized I can just flip that around. So the actual part that I screw the camera into, like the little cylindrical hole that you screw the camera in with to attach it, is actually just a little bit further up on my helmet, so it's a little bit more natural. It should be just a tad higher. It won't be perfect like if I got like an actual chin mount for it, but it is hopefully it is a little bit better at least. So what's going on, you guys? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're treating yourself well. Hope you're riding safe out there, enjoying it. So something interesting, I've been watching this 6-hour long, I think a little over 6.5 hour long, Call of Duty Zombies complete timeline YouTube video, and I'm really enjoying it, man. I don't know if anybody out there's a big Call of Duty Zombies fan, but I mean, I'm a huge one myself. Played for basically my entire childhood, really. But yeah, nonetheless. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about why it's not really that big of a deal to start on a 300 motorcycle, 300cc motorcycle. So basically by that I just mean anything like my bike. It's a sporty 300cc, so it's a small bike, comparatively speaking. And they're beginner bikes. There's no reason to beat around the bush. They're beginner bikes. Because they're smaller, they're not as fast, they don't have near the torque that super sports have. So I think that there's kind of this urge for specifically young kids like myself that when they're looking at getting a sport bike, they want to get something fast, right? Because like that's the whole like nobody just like goes out and says like, oh, I want to get a sport bike to commute, like no, that's just kind of like an after the fact thing, right? Like, you know, oh well, yeah, I'm going to use it to commute, but that's not really why I'm getting it. I'm getting it because I want to get it. You know, it was a decently big chunk of why I got mine, but you know, it really wasn't in the forefront of my mind when I was thinking about getting a motorcycle. I really just had a desire to ride on two wheels, and there's not much else I can explain about that. So I think there's this kind of notion where people think that you have to get like a bigger 600 style motorcycle as your first bike because you don't want to get something that's you don't want to get something that's like small and, you know, not fast enough. It's not going to give you the look that you're going for, you know. You're not going to impress people or other people or anybody else, all the other motorcyclists. Maybe you might be worried that other motorcyclists might not accept you or something. Whatever you may be worried about. I worried about a couple of those things, not every one of them. But I kind of want to just like shed light on the fact that it's really not bad at all to start on a 300. And in fact, I very much advocate for doing so. And I know a lot of others on YouTube do, but then there's also a good amount of people that say, you know, to hell with it. Go ahead and get, you know, like a 600, whatever you want to get to, you know, suit your needs and your wants purchasing a motorcycle. But really, firstly, it's safer. No, without a doubt, 100%. There's nobody on this earth that could try and tell me otherwise that a 300cc sport bike is going to be more dangerous than a Yamaha R6 for your first bike. It might be safer if you're a professional rider and, you know, you need that speed and acceleration to actually get out of dangers, and that makes sense. So don't try and bring me that argument, because generally speaking, 99.99% of the time, a 300 will be much, much safer for a new rider. And I'm not going to go into the details of why, if you want to do that, look at another video, or maybe I'll make a video to talk about it. There's plenty of people on there talking about, they'll do pro con, very comprehensive list talking about what's good about starting on a 600 and what's good about starting on a 300. So, you know, I haven't rode a 600, so I can't give you a very good opinion on that matter, but I will tell you this that I know for a fact, is that riding on a 300 when you start is safer. Secondly, if you're looking to kind of like impress people, or even just like look cool in a sense for riding a motorcycle, first off, I think you're getting a motorcycle for the wrong reasons. But nonetheless, a 300 class sport bike is going to do just that. It may not be near as loud, but if you get a nice exhaust on it, it'll sound cool. And it's, you know, it doesn't really matter, like, okay, I'm not going to go into why it doesn't matter what other people think, because that's a much more broad topic to talk about. But I mean, most people don't know the difference between a 300 and 600 cc motorcycle. Most people. I've had so many people come up to me and talk to me about my bike, and just talking about how they think it looks nice and whatnot. I've even had other motorcyclists come up to me and kind of assume that it's a 600. Like, people really don't know the difference very well, or at least as much as you think. I would assume people could tell the difference pretty easily. Now, seasoned motorcycle riders are probably going to be able to a lot easier, but what I'm saying is that the majority of people don't really know and don't really care. I talked to my roommate once, and he's like, he kind of admitted that before he, you know, knew about what I've told him regarding motorcycles, he would have thought that my motorcycle is really fast. Like, it's like a crazy fast bike. Like, he just would have assumed that. And so you have to understand that people don't really know as much about the bikes that they think they do. And then finally, in regards to, you know, speed or quickness or whatever, 300s really aren't that slow, okay? They really aren't very slow. Let's get a little rev bomb. Man, I love that sound. But anyways, 300s, they really aren't that slow, okay? I know I mentioned this in another video. I don't know what video it was. But I haven't done a 0 to 60 yet, but these bikes really aren't that slow. They still accelerate pretty quick. The power to weight ratio is really what matters in regards to motorcycle speed. Okay, power to weight, these bikes have a lot of power. I don't know the horsepower on this, but it only weighs 400 pounds. So keep those three things in mind when you're looking at buying a motorcycle. I personally, in my opinion, I would encourage getting a 300, because it's not really going to be worth it, like, to impress a bunch of people or look cool. Like, there's going to be a few occasions where, say, you know, you wish you had a 600. There's been times I wish I had a 600. I'd be like, dang, like, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, dang, I really wish I had like a bigger bike, something cooler at that point in time. That stuff's not gonna matter if you go and get a 600 and go ruin your life by laying it over or going 60 miles an hour, right? You might as well learn on something small and then just upgrade when you can. It's really, all that external social stuff is not really worth the extra danger, in my opinion. And then, you know, like I said, these are pretty fast. Like, I would put myself against a lot of cars, and I think I could probably still beat them. If you are still like a speedster and, you know, you're looking for kind of like a speed thing when you're buying a motorcycle, you know, because they're fast, whatever you're looking for. So anyways, tell me what you guys think in the comments. This is just my opinion on it. Like I said, there's a lot of other people on YouTube that talk about their opinions. They'll give more comprehensive lists, pros and cons, about the difference between the two. But in this, I'm just specifically trying to shed light on why it's really not that big of a deal to take the smaller bike for your first ride. So anyways, I hope this was helpful, informative, and take it easy, guys.